The street was unusually quiet that night, as if the world itself was holding its breath. A flickering street lamp buzzed weakly above the cracked pavement, casting broken shadows that danced like restless ghosts. Underneath it stood a man, his shirt torn, his hands trembling slightly, but his eyes fixed with unshakable determination. Behind him, two boys, twins no older than 8, clung tightly to the back of his jacket. Their little fists curled into the fabric, their wide eyes shimmering with fear. And in front of him, a group of thugs circled like wolves. The man knew one thing for certain: he had no weapon, no backup, no promise of survival. All he had was a single command burning in his chest, aimed at the menacing figures before him. Back away now. Before we dive deeper into this gripping tale, if you're new to Soul Spark, don't forget to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss more powerful, emotional stories like this one. The man's name was Aaron Cole, a single father who had tasted the bitterness of loss more times than he cared to count. His wife had died in childbirth, leaving him alone to raise their only son, Liam. For years, Aaron's life had been a cycle of struggle: long shifts at the auto repair shop, small meals shared at the tiny kitchen table, and quiet nights where he often fell asleep to the sound of his son's soft breathing. But despite the hardships, Aaron wore his sacrifices like armor. Every grease stain on his hands, every ache in his back, was proof that he was giving his boy a life worth holding on to. Fate, however, rarely shows mercy to men like Aaron. That night had not started with danger. It had begun with a simple favor. Liam had made 2 new friends at school, Christopher and Caleb, identical twins who lived in a mansion on the far edge of town. Their father was a billionaire investor, always away in foreign countries, leaving the boys in the care of staff who couldn't love them the way children needed. So, when Liam's birthday came, the twins begged to join the small celebration at Aaron's modest apartment. It was laughter, cake, and joy squeezed into a space barely big enough to hold it all. For one evening, Aaron saw the sparkle in Liam's eyes, as if the world were limitless. Afterward, Aaron volunteered to walk the twins home, not trusting the neighborhood streets at night. It was supposed to be a simple walk. But trouble has a way of finding those who least deserve it. The thugs came out of the alley as Aaron turned the corner. 4 of them. Heavy boots, smirks dripping with cruelty, tattoos crawling up their arms like vines. At first, Aaron thought it was a simple mugging. But when one of the men sneered, "Ain't those the billionaire's brats? Looks like we hit the jackpot tonight," Aaron felt a chill cut straight to his bones. The twins froze behind him, their breaths ragged. Liam wasn't there, thank God, but Aaron knew he had 2 terrified children depending on him now. 2 boys who weren't even his. Boys who could be ransomed, hurt, or worse. "Back away now," Aaron said, his voice steady though his heart hammered inside his chest. He spread his arms slightly, creating a shield of flesh and bone between the thugs and the trembling twins. One of the men laughed. "Or what? You'll fix our cars to death." The others chuckled, stepping closer. Aaron clenched his fists. He wasn't a fighter. He wasn't a soldier. But he was a father. And fathers are capable of standing against storms when their children need them. The first thug lunged, shoving Aaron back. Aaron staggered but held his ground. His knuckles cracked against the man's jaw in a desperate punch, the pain shooting up his arm like fire. For a moment there was silence. Then chaos erupted. The thugs rushed him all at once. Aaron fought with everything he had. Every strike wasn't skill, but raw, frantic devotion. A knee slammed into his ribs, but he stayed upright. A fist split his lip, but he didn't falter. He pushed, pulled, struck, and shielded the boys like a wall refusing to crumble. Behind him, the twins sobbed, their voices like tiny sparks fueling his resistance. Still, he was only one man. His strength waned. Blood streaked his face. His breath came ragged and shallow. Yet even as the thugs overpowered him, Aaron spat through bloodied teeth. "You're not touching them." But fate, cruel as it was, wasn't finished with Aaron. As one of the men pulled a knife, Aaron's heart sank. Time seemed to slow, every sound muted except the frantic heartbeat in his ears. The twins whimpered, gripping tighter to his shirt. Aaron's mind flashed with Liam's face, his little boy waiting at home, blissfully unaware that his father might not return. Then headlights cut through the darkness. A black SUV screeched to a stop at the curb, its doors bursting open. From it spilled men in suits, bodyguards armed and trained, the kind the billionaire father had finally remembered to assign. They stormed forward, their presence scattering the thugs like rats into the night. Aaron collapsed to his knees, chest heaving, vision blurring. The twins clung to him tighter, refusing to let go even as the guards tried to pull them away. "He saved us," Christopher cried, his voice cracking. "He stood in front of them." Caleb echoed through tears. The billionaire himself arrived moments later, stepping out of a second vehicle. Confusion and horror etched across his polished face. He had money, power, and influence, yet here was a grease-stained mechanic, a single dad, who had done what his wealth could not, protected his sons when they needed it most. Aaron refused the hospital at first, insisting he was fine, but the twins wouldn't let him leave without care. At the mansion, doctors tended to his wounds while the boys sat at his side, their small hands never leaving his. They had more toys, more rooms, and more money than Liam could ever dream of, but in Aaron they had found something rarer: love in its purest, most selfless form. The billionaire, moved in a way he had never been before, offered Aaron a fortune as thanks. But Aaron shook his head. "I don't need money," he said quietly, his voice strained but firm. "I just need to get home to my son." It was a statement so simple, yet so powerful that even the billionaire couldn't argue. For the first time in years, the man saw the true cost of absence in his own children's eyes. That night changed him, but it changed Aaron even more. Because when he finally returned to his small apartment, bruised and battered, Liam ran into his arms, clinging like he'd never let go. Aaron held him close, whispering silently to himself a promise he'd made long ago, that no matter what storms came, he would always stand between his boy and the world. Before we wrap up this story, if this moment touched your heart, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to Soul Spark for more powerful and inspiring stories. Your support means everything and helps us continue bringing these moments to life. Aaron never thought of himself as a hero. He was just a father who refused to let fear dictate his choices. But in the eyes of the twins, in the tears of the billionaire, and in the embrace of his son, he became something greater. He was proof that true strength is not found in wealth or weapons, but in love, the kind of love that says, "Back away now. These children are mine to protect." And that is a power no thug, no darkness, and no storm can ever take away.